Poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh now they know us. See it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy, winning like I ought to. I ain't wanna do it, but I got to. Smoking what my doctor told me not to. Got these wishing they was hot too. Ballin' like I need to. Got my exes wishing for a redo. Smell the marijuana when I speed through. Hit her with a tip, that's a preview. Hold up, wait up, get your weight up. Shit, get your money, not your hate up. Boy, draw a play up. I flip my wrist, a layup. She wanna lay up. I gotta get it, I'ma stay up. I'm all the way up, I got my pay up. I ain't playing with you, I'm a coach now. Commentating, do the most now. I be somewhere booted with my toes down. Make little baby tooted with her nose down. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live.
Darius Crooks, also known as your local scammer.
You are, you gay, growing up in Chicago, you just end up being with a tribe of people. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. It might be different now, but when I was growing up, there were crews. We had people we hung with, right? Anyway, and I hung with people like, you remember Calvin, Lavelle, those are people that I used to hang with back in the day, and you see what happened now, especially with randomness of Vail. We ain't heard hide nor have him, have we? We ain't heard hide nor have him, have we? Come to think of it, let me not bring his name up, because let me tell you something. He probably, he ready to. Where's the expose? Where is the expose?
Show out, run your mouth, pop off at the mouth. I do something called an attack. When you do the attack, you got to make sure you're real rooted and grounded. Look that way. Make sure you're real rooted and grounded so they don't know what's about to go on. You just attack them. You just attack them. What did I say? I said you better do what I said to do. Did they think you're crazy? If they think you're crazy, they'll just walk away slowly like that.
What's up, good Vipo? Happy Wednesday night. And let me know you can hear me by typing in the chat, my bad. My bad, because on yesterday, I did not remember that I had rescheduled a live from a week or so ago. And I just put a arbitrary date on it just so I wouldn't have to delete it because I had put so much into it already as far as title and thumbnail and all that good stuff. And then I've totally forgot about it. And then I was getting messages like, are you going live? Are you going live? And I was at home. Well, yeah, I was at home in like not feeling a live stream mode. So I apologize to those of you who waited for that. But I promise this evening, we're going to make up for that lost time with plenty old shenanigans. Tonight we have quite a bit to cover. As usual, I'm trying to move this live chat so I can see what y'all are saying. And thank you for the 91% of you who have already liked this live stream. That's very important for the growth of this channel. Just want to say what's up to everyone in the chat. It's a lot, so I appreciate everyone. Marianne, Chanel, Kat, Stephanie, Ricardo, Nicola, Trikesha, Chef's Finest Wine, Don, Carol, Alberta, Tamara, and Stephanie, and Precious G, and Explorer, and Sue Burtz, and everybody else in the chat. I can't read everyone because people will be like, you spending too much time talking to people. Anyway, if y'all can see some of the messages I get, they're funny. But anyway, also thank you to my moderator in the background singer tonight is Precious G, and my moderators on the front end as well. I appreciate all of you for your dedication and hard work. Also, the people who support me on that extra layer of at that extra layer, and also because of that, get. Let's see. As you can see, I didn't prepare, but. And, provide that extra layer of support and get that unfiltered look at into what's happening here, what's happening with me. So for anyone else who is interested, definitely subscribe to our Patreon And I'll put the link in the chat in a minute. I just realized I did not pull it up. But tonight, the topics that we have are, we have an update on Jamie Foxx. I know it's been around. People have been talking about it, etc. And we're going to talk about a little bit about that. We have the Jerry Springer situation with the reading of his will. And yes, Miss Wilson, we are just on VellNito Reacts tonight. The announcement that I did not give, I guess I could have gave it here because I put it in our other platforms. But the Reality Chronicles channel has now reached its watch hours. So I have now applied for monetization for that channel. So that means now I can start hitting it with that, with all the content that I've been holding back. And so there's no need to stream on both those channels with the same content. We'll be streaming over there, but it'll be a little more grittier topics. But yeah, for tonight, it's just VellNito Reacts. But thanks for asking. So we have the Jamie Foxx update. We have the Jerry Springer reading of his will and everything that's going on with that. And then we have Nurse Karen, or PA Karen, who, yeah, we'll talk about that. I ain't gonna go into depth. We have an unfortunate story of an accident that involved a 2-month-old baby who unfortunately did not make it. And then we have a teacher who in Missouri who felt very bold and empowered. He was of a Caucasian white teacher, felt empowered to use the N-word without saying N-word repeatedly in front of his students, and was corrected by the students, and they were reprimanded. And so we'll talk about that. And then we have a cult leader, not the one that we talk about often, which is Darius Crooks. Miss Crooks is going live as usual. Yes. So not Miss Crooks, who we talk about quite often over here, exposing her, many years of predatory practices and scamming, criminal activity, etc. But another cult leader in Kenya. And so we're going to talk about that story. And also, then we will talk about the crook that we know as Scampa, aka Darius Crooks, aka Darisha Cooks, whatever you want to call her, stunt queen, drama queen. Yeah. Anyway, well, so we'll talk about that as well, and the latest drama with that. And yeah, and we'll see. We may have a special guest this evening, because as I was putting the topic together, somebody was like, "Hey, I want to talk about that," and I was like, "Yeah, I was just gonna go over it real quick because I didn't have time to really dig for all of the clips and all of that stuff." But he was like, "I don't care about all that. You know how it rolls." So we'll see. We may have a special guest this evening. So let's get to our first topic. I feel like that was, I know what I was about to do. Give me a second. I'm only one man. Give me a second, because I don't want to forget to pull this in, and I need to make this permanent. Give me a second. And for those of you who can't hang with these longer live streams, trust me, I understand. And so what I do is break these down into clips. I'm behind. I think I did like 3, maybe 4, where I break these down into segments. That's why I read the comments in between, because they're basically separate videos we're creating at the same time. So if you can't hang, just know that the plan is for me to create smaller clips of each segment, so you can always come back and just watch the piece that you missed or want to see again even. And I'm going to put here in the comments the link to all of my social medias. If you want to join the Patreon or the VIP text group, this is just all the ways that you can find me and participate in our community on a higher level. So we have Jamie Foxx. Where he at? Jamie Foxx, he's as we saw from because the last time we talked about it, it was me reading the social media post, the Instagram post from his daughter, Corinne, who said she was updating from the family directly, because she was saying the media was running wild and saying that her dad was basically on hospice care, basically, and the family was preparing for the worst, etc. And it was just spread like wildfire on the social media. And so she came out to say that that's not true. And in fact, her father has been out of the hospital had been out of the hospital for weeks, and he was recuperating. In fact, he was playing pickleball that previous day to her post. And she just said, thanks for everyone's prayers and support. And we have exciting work announcement coming soon. Well, coming in next week, which would be this particular week. Well, the thing about it was there was, and after I even did our segment here, there was a lot of, there were views from different sides. There were some people who was like, that's their business. They don't owe us any explanation, et cetera, et cetera. But then there were those who were like, you're a public figure. You put everything else out there. You want us to be invested in your situation. Then, you can't turn that on and off, basically. But there were a lot of people who did not quite believe Corinne's post, because they're like, well, if he's so great and he's playing pickleball, which I didn't know what that meant at the time. And some people explained it in our chat, but I also got plenty of messages, and thank you all. I even had someone send like a definition of it and a link. So I appreciate all of that. But I realized I wasn't the only one who didn't know, because I saw other people on social media saying, what the hell is pickleball? But anyway, come to find out, he is not in the hospital he was in, but he is in a rehabilitation center in Chicago. And so especially like he's in a different kind of hospital, but he is supposedly healing. But the hospital that he's staying at, or rehabilitation center that he's staying at, is supposed to be one of the best in the country. And it's known for people who have suffered strokes or brain damage in some way and helping them recover. So obviously this stroke was pretty major. I also saw earlier today when I was just pulling things for y'all that he's actually, the movie that he was working on that ended up that he wasn't able to finish, they are now starting to shoot again, and they have a body double standing in from him. And I always forget like to pull in certain things, but the body double is in the movie. And hold on, y'all, I'm gonna just pull it in. Let me just pull it in. We hanging out. Let me see. Nope, that's not what I want. The computer won't. You know what? I think it's when I'm streaming, it wants to slow down like this. Hold on. Okay, I might still be able to do it. Talk amongst yourselves. Put your comments in there. We can star them so I can read them. Let me see. Because I want to see what y'all think about this guy. Does he look like Jamie Foxx? Because I'm like, if I had on beer goggles and was like 20 miles, a football field away, maybe. Oh, I got to pull it in this way anyway. What am I doing? Hold on. Like I did all this work to pull it, take screenshots for y'all. Might as well show you. Jamie Foxx, come on now, where you at? I could have did it the other way too, but never mind. I did all this. Yeah, dude. Okay, this is why I don't pause for stuff like this, because oh, here it is. Good. Okay, here we go. I was like, maybe I didn't pull it in the right area. Maybe that's the best I can do. Okay, here we go. Y'all let me know. I'm gonna put a poll up here. Y'all let me know if this dude looks anything. So this is actually on a movie set, and this is his body double for the movie that he is doing with, oh, I'm forgetting her name now. One of the really popular actresses. Put it in the chat if you know the actress's name. Let me see. Thank you. Okay, here we go. I just put the poll in there. Just put yes or no. Can he pass for Jamie Foxx? Like I said, I think just from afar and with some beer goggles on, possibly. But anyway, so this guy is on the movie set and they were filming Cameron Diaz. Thank you so much, Smoocher Bing. Yeah, so he's filming. He was filming a movie with Cameron Diaz before his unfortunate health situation, and so that guy is there now. And we have 29% are saying yes, and 71% are saying no. The body double does not look like it's not a good stand-in. But I think from they're gonna hook it up in the movie. I don't think we'll really know in the movie because of all the camera angles and tricks that they can play with it, and from behind the head and all of that stuff, and even CGI. So, but some of the articles are saying Jamie Foxx continues to receive medical treatment after his serious health scare last month in Atlanta, but now he's in a Chicago facility touted as the top medical rehabilitation center in the country. Jamie Foxx's daughters, as well as the mother of those daughters, were all in Chicago both Saturday and Sunday and spent time with Jamie during his continued care. They're saying, while we still don't know exactly what happened to Jamie or why he's there, we know that the facility specializes in stroke recovery, traumatic brain injury rehab, spinal cord injury rehab, and cancer rehabilitation. One source tells us that Foxx arrived at this Chicago facility in late April after initially getting treatment in an Atlanta hospital. And sources connected to Jamie tell us that he's recovering well. Jamie's loved ones appeared to be in good spirits over the weekend there and had signs of alert and active, including the fact that his Christy left the center with Mother's Day flowers and balloons. So it's kind of like they spent Mother's Day together. And so he was first hospitalized on April 12th in Atlanta for what his family called medical complications, but he seems to be headed in the right direction. So we, again, are continuing to have our thoughts and prayers with Jamie Foxx. I'm just really happy that what we were hearing at a point about him, being in his last moments, I'm so happy that ended up not being true. But social media, you gotta love it, right? Okay, so our next story is our beloved Jerry Springer. We know that he passed away a couple weeks ago now. Don't get me to line on the date, but he passed away recently, and it just hit the past couple days. It hit social media that Jerry Springer's the content of his will had come out, and that he did a live will reading and recorded will reading before he passed away, and the video went viral. And so let's see. Oh, I hope it plays, because the reason I started a couple seconds late because these videos were not playing again. So let's see. Hopefully. I don't know what's going on with this thing, y'all. Okay, so let me pull it in again. It's something about when I go live. You gotta love StreamYard. When I go live, the stuff I pulled in doesn't work anymore. Okay, so I gotta find it again. Here we go. Coming up.
I loved your John Misha. I did a terrible, terrible thing for terrible reasons. I let fear and ignorance and, quite honestly, hatred keep me away from you and your beautiful, beautiful mother. And I have spent the last 26 years in complete and crippling shame. And it is still a drop in the bucket of the immeasurable amount of pain I have caused each of you. My wife learned of your arrival, Misha, and demanded that I cut you off completely. I tried to reason with her, but she threatened to expose my infidelity and my illegitimate children. And I was such a coward. I'm a coward even now for making this video instead of making the effort to meet you. I am ashamed and disappointed with myself. I didn't know how to stand to my truth and stand up to my wife. I did, however, manage to stand up for you, John and Misha. While Joan kept me away from you with the threat of exposure, she did not keep me from providing for you. You see, I told her that if I had to accept a life without you, she would not get a red cent of my fortune, and that you would be named equally in my will in the event of my passing. But with everything going on in the world right now, I realize that I have to go a step further. Jordan, Megan, I leave our home here in New Orleans to you to do with whatever you want. The rest of my estate, my properties in Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, my bank accounts, investment portfolios, all liquid and intangible assets, everything, all of it will go to my children, John and Misha. Girls, all your life I've been telling you to make your millions, and I hope you have. If not, you can always sell the house and split the profit. But my entire estate belongs to John and Misha, and it is up to them to do with it what they will. It is truly.
So yes, that went viral past couple days. When I first heard about it in headlines, and I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. But before I could even dig deeper into it, come to find out it was, and I hadn't even seen the clip at all. By the time I seen the clip, I knew that it's a hoax. It was actually a skit that Jerry Springer performed, because we know that, he's a TV personality and comedian as well. He had a great sense of humor. But it was actually a video skit that he performed in December of 2020 from Reframed 2020, a festival of new plays on social justice presented by Tulane University School of Liberal Arts Department and of Theater and Dance. So it was not real. This is not the live real reading of his will. It was clickbait. And people were running with it. This is why you can't take everything on social media, anything on social media at face value. You always gotta, and if you don't have time to research, just wait. Wait it out until the real information comes out, or don't run with it, because it is not true. Jerry Springer did not leave all of his worldly possessions to two biracial children that his family didn't know he had. That's just not true. Let the man rest in peace, social media, please. So let me get to some comments. I forgot to read comments after Jamie Foxx. Let's see what we got. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to get to the stuff that's about the topic and not about me or general. But I appreciate all of those comments as well. Elizabeth Hale says playing fake pickleball as it pertains to Jamie Foxx. And so what I heard was also that rehabilitation center, part of their practice in rehabilitation is like incorporating sports activities. So they're saying that that's probably true and it was a part of his rehabilitation process. But the way his daughter presented it, like, oh, he's just hanging out. He playing pickleball now. Like, yeah, he's playing it as a part of his therapy. It doesn't mean he was playing it well. Yeah, knew that statement seemed fishy from Jamie Foxx's daughter. And this one is saying rehabilitation center nurses, physical therapists can have a patient in a seated position at a table. It's possible to play pickleball, not the normal way. Yeah, and that's what we're figuring now. Now that we know we have this additional information, thanks to TMZ, who is on it. Says Nick Cannon is taking his place on Shame. I'm not familiar with is Shame a movie coming out or something? I'm not familiar. As far as Jamie Foxx's standing, said the man's head is too small. Okay. I don't know if I ever noticed Jamie Foxx's head being abnormally big or whatever. I guess it was something about the guy that just, so maybe it was the size of his head that just wasn't quite right working. Maybe a distant cousin. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. Not far off, but definitely they can't do a head on, or I think even a side profile too good with that guy. This sounds like a movie script. We're talking about Jerry Springer. Yeah, I agree. And then the fact that people kind of blurry, all of that is on Zoom. Yeah. Yes, Elizabeth Hill. Jerry Springer passed away. Did somebody put it in the chat? I feel like I saw somebody put it in the chat when I said I couldn't remember when. But yeah, it's been at least 2 weeks, I think, that Jerry Springer has passed away, unfortunately. So he is no longer with us. He had cancer. He was battling cancer privately and succumbed to cancer. Says, I wonder if Jerry Springer is looking down on us and having a good laugh about the story. I'm sure. I am sure. I feel like his sense of humor would actually enjoy it. I don't know him, or didn't know him, but thank you so much, Elizabeth Hill. Yes, April 27th. So yeah, not long ago at all. Okay, and so our next story, because for the sake of time, because we have quite a bit to cover tonight. All right, what's my computer doing? Well, what am I doing? Clicking on stuff. So our next story is what I've coined Nurse Karen. Well, I saw it on Twitter. Some people were saying hashtag Nurse Karen. So in New York City, a Bellevue Hospital employee is facing criticism over a confrontation being caught on cell phone that shows her get irate and scream for help when she was having a dispute with a group of young Black men over a city bike. So one of those, bikes that you can rent and ride around town. Even though it appears that she was not in any danger. It doesn't appear that way. She wasn't in any danger. So basically, she tried her best to weaponize her tears. And then when she realized that it wasn't working, she quickly switched them off. So let's take a look at this. For those of you who may not have seen this trending story, let's see if this video play. If not, I'll pull it in from the beginning. Here we go. Give me a second. I don't know what's happening. I am not happy with StreamYard for doing that. I put all this work into pre-production and then the stuff don't work. Here we go.
Help me! Please help me!
It's not your bike.
Please help me!
It's not your bike. It's not your bike.
Please help me! Help! Please get off me!
Hey, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Please get off.
Yo, don't not take it, bro.
Now you're not getting the bike, bro.
Hey, now you're not getting the bike.
Help!
You're not getting
Get off me,
I'm
dude.
not.
Why you took his phone? What's wrong with you?
You're not touching my phone.
You're hurting my fetus.
I'm not touching you. You putting your stomach on my hand.
Hey, dude, stop. No, dude, stop. No.
Please help.
Sit down.
Please help.
She's just crying.
You're not crying. I got
Stupid.
I got you
My
on video.
bike.
I'm
Drunk.
Wait, you
Hey.
Hassan, you put it out? Hassan,
I don't give a fuck.
Hassan, you put it out?
This is my bike. It's on my account. Please move.
All right, so why don't we reset the bike?
I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his.
Reset it. I'm gonna pull it out on your account.
Let her walk. I don't give a fuck.
This is my bike. Crying.
Guys,
This is fake crying. Stop fake crying.
Hey, stop touching me. I don't touch you.
Hold up.
Hey, stop touching me. Stop touching me.
Why don't you take this bike?
Stop touching me.
I will.
Exactly. So take
Fuck out of here.
it. So take it.
You're stupid ass. Fuck out of here. Dumbass. Your baby gonna come out with talk.
Wait, how you stop crying?
Fuck.
Not a tear came down, miss. Not a tear came down.
Fuck out of here.
So in short, this lady walks up to these young guys. One of the guys, he had rented his bike. She tried to take it after he rented it. Like, no, this is mine. And then he refused. She yelled for help and then cried. We saw that part in the video. And a bystander who looked like another employee walked up on the situation, immediately took her side without understanding what was happening, and then suggested that the guy take the bike off of his account. Why should he have to take the bike off of his account when it's already his, it's in his possession? And I saw someone on Twitter saying, because there were people who, of course, were siding with her for some strange reason, and they were saying, well, he could have just gave her the bike. Why? And people were trying to explain to him, he can't just give the bike to her when it's already under his name, because then he's responsible. It's like renting a car. If you rent a car and you let some random person take the car and they cause damage or don't bring it back in time, you are liable and responsible for that. And so there was a lot of back and forth on Twitter as usual. And it's so dangerous. Like for me, it was just irritating watching it because of the fact that these sort of dog whistles are very dangerous for Black men, and always has been. I mean, we can go all the way back to slavery, but we can really go back to Emmett Till, etc. And they know that it's a dog whistle, so much so that she turned it on and turned it off immediately once she saw that it wasn't going to work in this particular case. But this could have caused real harm to these young men who obviously just wanted, to rent a bike and pay for it legitimately and go about their business. This guy, I think, I gotta pull it in from scratch. Hold on, y'all. I think this guy did a great job of kind of summing it up and what, like the history and the realness of this sort of situation. Hold on. Takes a little while to start. Here we go.
Kid.
Dumbass. You gonna come out with talk.
Wait, how you stop crying? Not a tear came down, miss.
Hello, Sarah Jane Comrie. Absolutely disgusting and revolting move you tried there. Shout out to those guys there who showed absolute restraint. This tactic is used on men of color quite often, and what's really scary about it is a lot of times these lies work and put the lives of men like the men you saw in that video in very real danger. While Sarah may have deleted her social media accounts, her husband did not. Hello, Sarah.
I love the hello, Sarah. So the hospital did put out a statement on Sunday, and they stated that we have recently become aware of an incident that occurred off campus over the weekend, and it appears to involve one of our employees. We are sorry this happened, and we are reviewing the incident. The NYC Health plus Hospitals Bellevue is committed to providing the the highest quality of care to all New Yorkers with dignity, cultural sensitivity, and compassion. And as of, I think this was as of Monday, I was kind of pulled this story. The hospital had not identified any employees involved in the incident. Still, the internet works faster than online users. So they allegedly had found Sarah Jane Comrie. But this story is still developing. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight it because it was another crazy situation of Karen trying to manipulate a situation with fake tears, and she's like pregnant. And I saw something on Twitter to the effect of like she may have had some other poor history with treating patients of color, but I don't know that to be factual at all, and there was no proof of that. It was just a random tweet. However, looking at this sort of behavior, it to me would be clear that she's not a compassionate person and probably does treat people that don't look like her less than, because this was obviously an entitled, privileged kind of move. And Elizabeth Hill, your sister works at Bellevue. Right. Overly dramatic. Helpful. Right, Kimika, a person can really get hurt over a situation like that. And the truth is that's kind of what they're looking for. She's not just looking for someone to help her get her bike, but she wants something bad to happen to them and her to be able to say, look, and this is why you don't mess with us, you know. Saw this and made me mad. The man comes up and said, give her, this is how people get hurt. Yeah. This, the historical view of it all, it was the white woman's lies and fake tears that caused so many Black bodies to be hung from trees. History of the KKK. Absolutely. Absolutely. They are aware of this, although they will act like they're not. If he doesn't return it back, he has to pay $1,200. Exactly. And probably just despite him, had she been able to get them to just give her the bike without him being able to take it off of his account, she probably would have discarded the bike or done something dirty with it so that he would have, in fact, had to pay the $1,200. I wouldn't put it past someone who acts like that. This could have gone so wrong for this guy. The bees like her that get innocent bystanders hurt or worse. Very true. Very true. Right. The man has proof that he paid for the bike. Yeah, it was on it's used, you know, he's using a mobile app, so it's clearly stated. So Donna Habit says, if you want to read a very profound book, check out Stand Your Ground by Kelly Brown Douglas, written in response to the Trayvon Martin case. Interesting. Okay. Definitely. Are they still researching it? I think you're talking about Bellevue Hospital. They claim they are. I don't know that to be fact. I hadn't seen anything more to this story when I stopped researching on, I think that was yesterday. Okay, so on to our next story. This is an unfortunate story of a baby gone too soon. I'm gonna probably have to pull this in again too, but let's try it.
When they came,
that one worked. Okay. So this is a story of an accident that occurred in Memphis, Tennessee. A 2-month-old girl was unalived after being taken away from a crash. And so I have a couple clips. This one I'm gonna have to stop at a certain point because it kind of shows them with the baby. Okay, let's see if it plays first of all. And that one won't play. Give me a second. Give me a second to pull it back in. Thanks for nothing, StreamYard. Is this it? I think this is it. Yep.
4 or 5 car accident. The babies were thrown out of the car. Lord have mercy, Jesus. The babies are missing.
And thanks, Nick at Night, YouTuber Nick at Night. That's where I got this clip from. So when you hear the screaming and the lady turns, so she's like, "Where's the baby?" And that's just a bystander, like a person driving by or a neighbor who's trying to help the mom find the baby, because after the accident, she's asking about her babies or whatever, and that particular, I think it was that lady who's saying, "How many babies?" And she says 4. Then she said, "No, 2." And so they're looking, I guess she was saying it was 2 that were missing. And they were looking like, "Where's the baby?" The baby's not in the car anymore. And the person, then the lady who screams, notices as she turns around that the baby is under that white vehicle. And then here's a little news segment that gives a little more background.
A tragedy here, Dominique. And look, everyone out here, when this crash first happened, everyone, I'm talking about people who live in homes here at 9 Arnold and Castleman, they came out of their homes and did everything they could to save these 2 children. These 2 children happened to be riding in that van with their mother, both of them ejected. Witnesses say the 4-year-old ejected onto this front lawn of this home, that 3-month-old ejected, and they actually got that 3-month-old from underneath that white car you see right here. You can see the horrific scene here of all of these cars, all 4 cars involved in this crash. Sadly, a tragedy, learning of one of the children dying at the hospital. We are working right now to get information as to how that other child is doing, as well as the 3 other people, adults who went to the hospital. We're in close contact with the Memphis Police Department right now, working to gather more information as to how those other folks are doing, as well as what's going to be the next step. Obviously, now someone has died, sadly a child died in this crash. We're going to continue to stay on top of this very much so breaking news story. But for those of you who usually use...
So yeah, very unfortunate story. I think I was saying 2-month-old. It was 3-month-old child. I'm noticing here in the article, that's why I got it mixed up. They're saying 2-month-old and then 3-month-old at another spot. But so obviously a 3-month-old little girl was unalived. They said a 4-year-old was taken to the hospital after the crash. And Memphis and Parkway Village, Monday morning. The crash happened on May 15th near the intersection of Knight Arnold Road and Castleman Street. Says a witness from the accident described how the incident unfolded. She was quoted as saying, "When he hit her, she hit the pole and her babies were ejected from the car," the woman said. She kept saying, "My babies, my babies." I pulled the 3-month-old away from under the car, the woman continued. In all, they said that there were 3 adults and 3 other children that were also taken to the hospital. A 4-year-old, a 20-year-old man, a 27-year-old woman, a 29-year-old woman, and 2 10-year-olds were all transported to hospitals in the area, and none were in critical condition. But unfortunately, the 2-month-old was the one who did not make it. And from what I was hearing there, the 2-month-old was not, and I think I just saw in the comments, someone asking about car seats. The 2-month-old was not in a car seat is what is being reported. So that was unfortunately how the baby was ejected. Craziness. And it was a speeding driver who ran into, I don't know how the collision happened, but it was a speeding driver who caused the pileup of all those cars, who caused the crash. Yeah, craziness. Oh my God, 3 months old, so sad. Yeah, so sad. Y'all please drive careful. It's not worth it. Praying for the family. Yeah. And there were no details on like the age of the driver who caused this, etc. My thing is definitely car seats. I've always been a huge proponent of car seats coming from early childhood career. That's something that I have and I still will occasionally see it where you're driving and you see someone and see someone with a child on their lap, or the child is standing up in the back seat of the car, and I'm like, what? Like, this is not the 70s. We don't do that anymore, and it's illegal and unsafe. And then you're screaming about your child, but you gotta take appropriate precautions because you cannot control when accidents happen. And obviously, they probably weren't even far from home. This is a residential area they were in. So accidents can happen anywhere. So drive carefully, but also protect yourself. Wear your seatbelt too, because it's still some of y'all ain't wearing y'all seatbelt. Don't want to wrinkle your blouse or your top. Put that seatbelt on. Oh my God, the baby's thrown from the car. Prayers going up. Yeah, horrible situation. Yeah, no car seat, so irresponsible. Yeah, and I understand like the economics of it, but they do have programs that provide car seats, etc. This person obviously had other children. I don't think a car seat is a negotiable at all. Yeah, that's a good question, Miss Wilson. Will she be charged if no car seat? That I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you would think so because you would think so, but on some level, at the very least, it's a traffic violation. My nephew is 5 months old as of Sunday. I couldn't imagine. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you there. You can also rent car seats. Yeah. There are a lot of options for car seats. Car seats are not expensive, and places like fire stations give them out for free. So I didn't even know the fire stations give them out for free. So again, yeah, it's a non-negotiable when it comes to car seats. For those who don't know, fire departments give them out for free. I pray for all involved, especially the mom. She will never forget that day. Yeah. Yeah. Can't watch anything bad happen to babies. Hurt so much. Yeah. I agree. For me, it's this was definitely like more of a cautionary tale. Like, I'm like, let me share this story for those who may feel like, that's an optional, or may have those excuses like, oh, I just can't afford one, or we only running around the corner to grandma's house, like all that stuff. Nope, put that baby in that car seat. Okay, so on to our next topic. See if this one's gonna play. Hold on, let me see. So this next one, we have a Missouri student that has been suspended after filming her white geometry teacher while he was using racial slurs in the middle of class. And now the girl and her family are calling the school to reverse the punishment and apologize. The 15-year-old student at Glendale High School in Springfield was informed on Friday morning that she was being reprimanded after recording her teacher using the N-word in class. Her attorney says she's still processing everything. The student is still processing everything, and that she doesn't understand what she did wrong in an interview with the Daily Beast. Her attorney stated. And it says the teacher, who has not been identified, was placed on administrative leave immediately after using the slur on Tuesday. In a Monday statement to the Daily Beast, the Springfield Public School System said that the teacher was no longer employed by the district. And Hull said the incident stemmed from the discussion between the teacher and the students about the N-word. And let's take a look at there we go. Hold on, y'all. Y'all already know what's happening. This is just a waste to pull this stuff in if I got to redo it during the live. Let's see. Find it. Is this it? Yes.
At all. But it I don't know. It feels like when a black person is using it towards another black person, it's the same How is it not still a derogatory word? Derogatory, but you don't
Beat his ass.
I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I kind of
slave owners used to call them that, so it's just like a.
So how does right, but are you, and is the word nigger not allowed?
Okay, I'm gonna say it right now, as a teacher, if you want to keep your job, this isn't a threat.
I'm not calling anyone.
No, I understand.
I can say the word. It's not.
Mr. Boone.
Why are you saying? No.
I'm trying to say, like, as a student.
So, as you can see in the video, the teacher can be heard speaking to the class while the camera is pointed down towards the desk. He's quoted as, someone is saying, I don't like the word. The teacher says, I don't like the word. It feels like when a black person is using it towards another black person. How is it not still a derogatory term? And he says, I don't get it. He continues before being interrupted by someone explaining that enslavers used to use the term. And it sounded like it was a male student trying to reason with this person. And the teacher is then quoted as saying, and he says the word N-word not allowed? The teacher asks, and he says, I don't say it right now as a teacher. If you want to keep, this is what the student said. Don't say it right now as a teacher. If you want to keep your job, someone tell this man. So they go back and forth, and as you can saw in there, and the teacher then notices the camera pointed in his direction and tells the 15-year-old to put her phone away. He commands her to, when she says no, he then commands her to go to the office after she declines to stop recording. And she recorded the video and shared it with her mother and 2 other friends in order to get advice on how to handle the situation. Somehow the video circulated and ended up on social media. But she did not actually post the video on social media, is what her attorney told the Daily Beast. And as of Tuesday, the Glendale High School principal, Dr. Josh Grove, sent a letter to the families. And he says that in the letter, we are aware of a Glendale teacher using offensive derogatory language during class today. The letter read, a video of the comments is being circulated, and we have received several calls from concerned parents. I want you to know that the comments expressed in the video are inappropriate, inexcusable, and do not meet the professional standards of Springfield Public School employees. And then on Friday, after being chastised for filming her teacher, the 15-year-old student and her family reached out to the school district officials on Sunday requesting that the student be able to return to school on Monday, and that the school apologized to her. And they had said, as of the date of this, I think it was Tuesday, they had not received any response. And according to the school, they do have a handbook that says electronic devices such as cell phones may be in the student's possession as long as they are not disruptive to the educational process or in violation of site use procedures. However, the handbook says students will be punished for using electronics to record, publish, or display audio or video images of events involving faculty, students, or other students. I read that wrong. Involving faculty, staff, or other students in or around school premises without approved school personnel. So basically, their stance is that, she shouldn't have been using the cell phone to record at all during this incident. She shouldn't have pulled the phone out. However, if she did not pull the phone out and record this, I'm sure that there would have been a scapegoat for the school as well as the teacher to be like, no, that wasn't the conversation at all. I didn't use the word, all of those sort of things, the bait and switch and all the games they play. So there's no update on it. Or last I saw, she was still suspended, and it was an indefinite suspension. However, in the handbook, it stated that violation of the cell phone policy would only cause a 3-day suspension. However, they suspended her without a return date, mainly because they're just pissed because this got out to the public, I'm sure. But yeah, craziness. They're getting bold, y'all. They're getting real bold. Let's see what we got. Elizabeth says, bet you he wouldn't say it loosely in public. Right. No, we don't need to stop doing anything. You can choose not to say it, but don't tell me what to do. Yes, thank you. Definitely like, share, and subscribe, everyone. Explore says the teacher knew what he was doing. Absolutely. I feel like he knew what he was doing. He felt a moment where he could get it out his system, like, yeah, he just ninja. Just wanted to get it on out of his system. He hadn't said it in a while, and he had something in front of him too, in his mind. So he wanted to get it out of his system, but he thought he was going to do it without repercussion. And that's why I'm glad that she pulled out her cell phone. Students got more sense than the teacher. Absolutely. Obviously, in this case. Yeah. Trikisha, he used the ER. Yeah. And multiple times they said he was caught on camera. By the time she started recording, it wasn't immediate. It was after he had said it, like they said, like tens of times. And that's when she was like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't believe that I'm involved in this moment. And so she started recording it and documenting it. So what happened to the teacher? They should be glad he was filmed. The teacher was supposedly, they're saying he was terminated from that district. So, you know, who knows how true that is, because they didn't release his name. Of course, they're always protecting them. Good. He doesn't have a job. Right. He doesn't have a job with the district. So per the district. So they say. Could be, you know, we're going to lay you off for a little while and then we're going to pull you back in the shadows of the night when people forget and put you in a different school or something. And hopefully nobody knows because we never put your name out there. That G on his shirt made him feel gangster that day. Right. Craziness. Just the lack of respect, even in using it. It's kind of like, what? It doesn't matter how you feel about the word. If people are saying it's offensive to them, why are you using it and continuing to use it in a conversation with a person who's telling you this word you are using is offensive to me and my people? Yeah, he definitely deserved everything he got. Okay, so on to our next story. Now, this one is interesting. And we have here an accused cult leader in Kenya who was denied bail after allegedly telling his followers that the world was ending and starvation was their way to salvation. They're saying that his unalive toll of people has hit 200 and 600 people are still missing. His name is Pastor Paul McKenzie, an alleged hunger cult leader in Kenya. And he was telling his followers that on April 15th, the world was ending and that basically they needed to unalive themselves for that. On Wednesday, May the 10th, a Kenya court ordered that the alleged cult leader, Paul McKenzie, remained in police custody for an additional 30 days as his case continues to be tried. Local authorities accused him of being the leader of Good News International Church, of ordering his parishioners to starve their children and themselves for salvation. And it says, prior to his recent court hearing, McKenzie was first arrested earlier this year on suspicion of deleting of 2 children by starvation and suffocation. And I have a little clip. Okay. Y'all know the drill. Give me time to pull it in. Oh, computer being slow now. Ooh, that's real slow.
This This is the moment Kenyan cult leader Paul Mackenzie was being escorted out of police station. The 50-year-old former taxi driver has been accused of ordering his followers to starve themselves to death. Sources say he told his adherents the world was going to end on April 15 and Satan would rule for 1,000 years. His cult became the focus of national horror with the recent discovery of more than 100 bodies, mostly children, in mass graves in the Shakahola forest of southeast Kenya. From court records and interviews with relatives of the victims, medical workers, and a police investigator, Reuters has pieced together a comprehensive picture of Mackenzie and his cult.
So yeah, this story is very interesting. For one, when I'm like, he was a taxi cab driver. How do you go from a taxi cab driver to being a cult leader to having all of these people blindly follow you? And even in my research, there were people whose family, almost like Scientology and stuff, how there were people with family members. This one guy, he was the husband of a lady who left him and took the kids, joined the cult, and when she was getting indoctrinated, like, because it's a process, we're gonna talk about another cult leader for the last part of this live stream. But he was talking about how his wife was telling him she had started having this philosophy that schools were evil. So she didn't want their children to be educated in school anymore. And also that hospitals were also bad. And he said, I told her, if schools were evil, like if you weren't taught, because he said she was educated on top of that. And he was like, but if you weren't educated, you wouldn't even be able to read the Bible in order to understand like this cult that you're trying to join. Like, hello. And so his wife joined, and obviously she has perished because he doesn't know where she's at. So it was a bunch of Kenyans looking for their family members now that this whole cult is kind of falling apart. They said on, let me start here. So he was, after the two children that they had originally investigated him for deleting had, gone because of starvation and suffocation. Y'all know I got to be careful with these words because of YouTube. Says, however, he was released on bail. Once he was freed, the relatives of some of his parishioners claimed that he returned to the Good News International Church within, he had already been kicked out of like the city limits because the government took his ability to have a church. Like they were like, you can't have a church. So then he went further out. Like, again, these grifters, these cult leaders, they just move on. They don't stop doing what they're doing. So he then moved further out into an unincorporated area in the forest, and they were living in huts and stuff. And so when he went back to that area, he told his followers that the world was soon coming to an end on April 15th, which they're saying was a new date from the one he had previously told them that would have been in August. So now he like, oh, we gotta accelerate this. So God told me that we got to do this sooner. It's like, what? Says after catching news of his alleged prophecy, the police raided Mackenzie's church in the forest and ended up rescuing 15 people who had been starving themselves. On April 14th, the pastor turned himself into police. It is reported that he has not yet been required to enter a plea, and the lawyer representing him said that his client is cooperating with investigators. They said since his arrest, it is reported that the unalived toll of his parishioners has climbed to 200, and another 600 or so people have been reported as missing. So these are the family members of these people who knew that they had joined his church cult. And now their people are just missing. Says leaving authorities to continue to search the remains for shallow graves throughout the forest where Mackenzie's church is based and his followers were living. It says that furthermore, there were 17 additional people who were detained in connection with the mass deleting of humans. Again, all cult leaders, whether they're social media influencers, etc. They need flying monkeys in order to operate their grift, in order to keep the ruse going. Otherwise, they can't do it by themselves. They have to have people who blindly or willingly participate. And so there are 17 people that they're saying, are also a part of this. And they said authorities originally got involved after finding 43 children on the compound who weren't attending school because, as I stated earlier, he believed that schools and hospitals were evil. So it was against the law, and even in Kenya, like here, against the law not to have your children educated or in school or something. There was also another person who spoke about his, they were a member. So another taxi cab driver who was like his coworker at the time, back in the day, he said that he actually had joined his church and he was a member of this guy's church for 2 years. He said until he started to become more and more extreme. And he said he started to talk about other religions like in a very horrible way and just doing some very odd and weird things. And so him and his family stopped attending his church. But it also makes me wonder, do some of these people just be having psychological problems? Like some of us have had experience with people, related or otherwise, who may have be bipolar, have schizophrenia or whatever, and then it comes on and we didn't know it, and maybe we knew them growing up, etc. And then all of a sudden, something snaps. And was that this guy's situation? Has something snapped, and then he got all these people that follow him because he's charismatic or whatever. I mean, this is not a person that I would be following, but this ain't for me. Everything ain't for everybody. So, yeah, that's that story. We'll read a couple comments and then we'll get on to our next topic. I'm a little further. Says cult leaders are always moving the dates. Yes, they're always moving the dates to align with whatever their goal, their narrative, whatever the next grift is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Being Mary says, Marilyn Gale says, I get at least a message a month in my email that Jesus is coming back. He gives a date. Then when the date passes, he copies and pastes and just changes the date. Right. Nicole Driver says, I loved food too much to even think about starving myself. My burger is next to me, calling my name as we speak. Right. That's what I'm like food. I'm one of those people that loves comfort food. So yeah, I can do healthy eating and all of that, but yeah, just starving. And for what? Like, why would God want me to starve myself? Like, if he wants me to come, and for my salvation, there are ways to do it that don't require me to starve myself to death. Or if he wants me, he's going to take me. I don't have to help. When God says my time here is done, trust me, he don't need my help. He don't need to be arrested to convince other people. Right. He must have ran out of food. It probably was just getting all their worldly possessions. And he's like, another way I can keep our costs down is to make y'all starve yourself. And then again, if there's 600 people missing, God forbid that those people have gone on to glory. And he's like, instead of me feeding y'all, I get to keep all that, because that's a heavy cost to feed people. I keep that money. Y'all just go away and I get new people, keep recruiting and piling up on in these shallow I was gonna say graves, but forget it. Graves. These shallow graves. Yeah, horrible. I thought you can go without eating, but you can't go without drinking water. Well, yeah, I think to a degree, though. I think I forgot how many, like it's a certain period of time that you can go without eating if you have water, but you can't you can't live off water alone. So at some point you're going to pass away if you only have water. It just takes a lot longer. Seems like they need to do a teaching lesson for teachers. Yeah, absolutely. Well, psychological test, because I think that's beyond just teaching. You can't teach people compassion and teach hate out of people, especially when it's in their core. Right, got to keep trying till they get the date right. So yeah, so speaking of cult leaders, we do have our last segment of the day. We're going to cover Scampa, who is a pretty well-known internet cult leader, influencer scammer. And what I'm gonna do is pull in, because everything got to pull in. It's ridiculous. And now the computer's slow. Bear with us. We'll get there. Thank God I pulled this into this file, because I would have really had to search. All right, so I will be back. Well, yeah, I'll be back next time. I'm gone for the night, and what we're gonna do is have our special guest for this evening take on this next segment. It was kind of unplanned. We didn't start out the day with this, but as I was doing the research, and I really honestly just wasn't feeling it. My friend, who you guys haven't seen in a little while, I see, hey, you there saying VellNito. Yes, VellNito. I was telling him what was happening in those internet streets, and I'm like, I am exhausted. I don't even really care to talk about these things, but they got to get talked about, because at this point it is public knowledge. And I was like, but I don't have time to pull everything, and I kind of don't feel like it on top of that. And he like, I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna go for it. Like, him, he's gonna let it loose. He's unfiltered all the time. Me, you got to catch me on certain days. But anyway, so with that, I will see you guys, and VellNito's going to take over. Usually he's going to be on the Reality Chronicles channel, but today, for the sake of this, he's just doing part 2. VellNito, don't get too crazy now, okay? Don't get too crazy. All right, so after this commercial break, VellNito will be here.
With my eyes closed, it's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keyan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still trying to fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Trying to earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And exposed to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. talk, just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, young G's. And I'm a self-made man.
I actually interviewed Darius Crooks on my radio show. Might have been 5 or 6 years ago before he blew up on social media. And this was just articulated. He actually went on Periscope Live during the radio show and did his own show in the studio during the show that he was supposed to be on. But he's a narcissistic individual. And because of that, he's had many of these run-ins. I think there was a scandal a few years ago where he was doing fake credit repair for people and got sued. His restaurant got closed down, those sorts of things. So he maintains these online scams, preying on the hearts and minds of his followers. And even just articulated after our show, because we tend to ridicule people when they active on our show. He actually went on Periscope Live to talk about me and our producer and some of the other guests after the show. So this has been going on for a long period of time. Now, legally, when somebody talks about you online, that's just talk. But once they get into the place of making threats, either violence, threatening to release personal information, well, that's where you can actually file a criminal report against this individual. And if they do release improper or censored information, personal information that is privileged, that absolutely you can report that to the Georgia Bureau of Investigations or to the Federal Bureau of Investigations for them to look into it, particularly if you have multiple individuals who are involved in this.
All right, I'm here. Don't be rushing me. Don't be rushing me. Had to clean my glasses at the last minute, and we're gonna see if I'm able to work with these. I might have to borrow your glasses because you got the new setup. These screens so far away. This ain't how you had it at the other place. So I'll try to work with it. We'll see what happens. But what's going on, y'all? What's going on? We got here a poll that VellNito put on out here before he went on to his little resting place, and he said, "Did you miss VellNito?" That's me. For those of you who don't know, we got 11% who said no. I ain't miss you either, so I don't give a goddamn. I only miss who missed me. But anyway, I came tonight because, oh Lord, there's been a lot going on up in these internet streets, and I just decided that VellNito wasn't in the mood. He just and some things you just got to talk about when it's being talked about and all of that. And he's just like he don't like the drama, he don't like the foolishness. But when it comes to this Darius Crooks thing, there's a lot of foolishness involved in it, unfortunately. Stunt queens bring stunts and tricks, and they attract other stunts and tricks and queens. It is what it is. Narcissists attract narcissists. But anyway, so we got here that most recently, hold on, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna have to Veil. Can I borrow your glasses here? Yeah, okay, because these ain't quite working the way I need to be able to see everything. That's different. That's different. That's real different. Okay, let's see. So we got tonight. We're talking about Scam Pop, Darius Crooks, and his latest shenanigans. He was explaining. What was that? Monday. He went live talking about he then sat there and got with Tasha K. Y'all know the internet blogger Tasha K. She has well over 1 million subscribers. She's known for talking. She's a blogger. She's known for talking about a lot of different stuff, different people. She's known for dragging people. One of her biggest dramas is she's been sued by quite a few people actually. But Cardi B was the most recent. Well, it wasn't the most recent, but it was the biggest. And so Cardi B won a defamation lawsuit from against Tasha K. Tasha K now owe her $4 million. And, so we ain't covering all that. That ain't what we here for. But anyway, he went to her platform to do an interview because she I guess, had been asking for a while. He had been passing it by. I think he feels like this was an opportunity to spin the narrative. He feels like he's getting away with a lot of stuff. He's feeling unstoppable, as he say. He's feeling like, all his stunt queen antics have been working and nothing sticks to the jackass. So he just been gleefully loving it, and the flying monkeys enjoying it all. And so he ended up sharing on Monday. He gets on camera with her, and they both cackling and talking about how great of an interview he did with her. And what I'm looking at is I know how Tasha K run, how she operate. I've been paying attention to her for some years, and what I know about her is she ain't no dumb woman. She got a lot. People say a lot of stuff about her, but one thing you can't say is she dumb. And another thing people say she's a snake, and she will flip the script on you in a minute. She will trick you. And so she's done that many times with the people she's interviewed. I don't know. Y'all let me know from this what you think about this clip. Do you think that Tasha K is truly on the side of Darius Crooks based on this little clip I'm about to show you? Or do you think she's still the Tasha K we've known her to be, which is one who will bait and switch? Hold on. Here we go. Is this a setup or is this real? I'm gonna play this twice for y'all. I'm gonna put a little poll up in here too for y'all to answer so we can see, is everybody on the same page with this? What's happening? So this is again Tasha K and Darius Crooks. They gone live on Monday evening after she interviewed him. He is drunk. She got him to drink a whole bottle of wine. I say, oh, she good. She good at what she do. Supposedly he had gastric bypass, and somehow he drinking a whole bottle of wine. And from what I'm hearing from people, that ain't possible. People who've had the surgery, but he's special. Oh, it's telling me I got already too many. How I got too many videos and I've been removing stuff. This thing just playing with me tonight, I tell you. Hold on. Or playing with us. Here we go.
Don't get messy, so I don't want to hear no shit from your followers like, oh, you went on that bitch platform, she done set you up. I did. I set him up.
What's up to all the winos?
What's up?
How y'all doing?
Set up motherfuckers. Period. Okay.
Right. So this is good. They said check her hands for the knives. That was so messy. No, she is not like that. Okay.
Listen,
I was gonna play that twice, and I forgot how much cursing she got up in there. She doing too much cursing. Y'all let me know in this poll here. She laughing with him. It was long. It's like 4 minutes. I can't play it because she don't play that. She been copyrighted this whole video. Been got all the revenue from it. But VellNito is sitting here mad. I know you be mad at it. I know. So yeah, we only can play a little bit of it. But do you think Tasha K is setting up Darius Crooks, or do you think he was able to bamboozle her and she don't know about all of? At least he was able to spin the narrative as he tries to do about being what is that? The Griot magazine, Black Enterprise, Southern Grid, Forbes magazine, The Shade Room, Fox 5 Atlanta, all these legitimate news sources covered his scams on their own. They vetted the information, and he's saying they all lying. And do you think she bought it? She do this for a living. I don't know. But let's see what y'all say. So do you think that Tasha K is setting up Darius Crooks? Now, 86% of y'all say yes. 14% of y'all say no. I'm very interested and those who saying no, why you would say no. But you know, I've seen her do this multiple times. I guess that's the difference. I've seen her. She was friends with Larry Reed who's another predatory friend allegedly of Darius Crooks, or was, or is, whatever. And then he says she not like that. I said, this Negro don't even follow her, obviously. His followers even saying, check her hands for knives, because they know how she roll. We know how, any of us who watch Tasha K or have in the past or whatever, we know how she operate. And so check her hands for knives. It don't even matter. You really just, whatever. I'm loving it. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see this. I'm like, I might actually get a subscription to her app so I don't have to wait for it to come on YouTube. That's how into it I'm going to be, to see how this go. So anyway, so yeah, we got that. And then I don't think I pulled this in, did I? Didn't pull it in, did I? Another thing, because I'm seeing, I don't know, maybe I'm digging a little too deep, looking for subliminal messages and all that. Let me pull this screenshot in for y'all. Another post she had put out that had me saying, yeah, I don't think this is gonna be the flex he think it's gonna be. It's gonna be like the Shade Room when he thought he had bamboozled them too, and they came out on him, came out a bag on him. And Black Enterprise too. He thought he was gonna bamboozle that reporter. Unwind what Tasha K said. I can't believe what the F went down during this interview. She got monkey hiding face emojis. We gonna regret this at Darius Crooks. We? I think that's a subliminal message that he gonna regret it. But we'll see. We'll see. I could be totally wrong. But we will see what happens with that. The other thing that's been going on, floating out here in this Darius Crooks scampire, is the viralness of all of his products now appearing. You know, he sells these 99 $10 skillets for $120. And then he got, all kind of other slow cookers and all kind of cookware he been coming up with over, from Alibaba and all that good stuff. He got a slow cooker from Alibaba. So this same one that he got here in his hand, what he does is he orders this it's like an Amazon for distributors, for large companies. Really, we can order from it too. So this slow cooker that he charges his people, it's somewhere around here. I got so many of these screenshots here, but he charged them well over, I think it's close to $200 or something for this thing. You can go to Alibaba yourself and get it for $42 if you're only buying one of them. But if you're buying 100 or more of them, you get them for $40. So he's paying $40 for them. And then he charging his flying monkeys well over, like I said, nearly $200 for that same thing. I ain't pull all that. There's too much stuff to pull all that. The Veil be doing all that. I ain't got all that time for y'all. Be doing all that. Anyway, so that for months now, he's had some issues with his stuff being people not being able to get they orders, stuff being on these trucks here, these freight trucks. They waiting months for stuff to come in. Well, and then he had excuses and blaming, they had the thing in the canal where the boat had shifted the wrong way and stuff couldn't get through and all of that. And then these people was waiting months and months and months for their stuff. And then he ended up getting some new stuff eventually. Well, somehow his stuff is now all over the goddamn internet. Where we got it at? People seeing this stuff now in stores. Now, not him putting it in stores, but from these freight trucks, this stuff that came in that he couldn't afford to buy. This is that I'll say this much of. So it's something ain't right. We know this for sure. And somebody asked him about it in his live yesterday morning. I think that was. I got the clip. Vell didn't feel like pulling all that stuff and clipping stuff down and editing. But somebody asked him, why all your stuff all over the internet? Now he still got it on his particular website, and he's still charging them flying monkeys all of these absorbent upcharges on the same stuff that they could go to these eBay and all these discount stores and they can now get it. So the theory is two theories out there, and I'm leaning towards this first theory. The first theory is that he always bragging about being a multi-millionaire, but obviously, and there was talk about this way back. This was over a year ago, that he couldn't afford, obviously, to get these shipments from custom. He got to pay freight and taxes and all that stuff, and he had bought the stuff from the company from Alabama. He paid that and they shipped it. But then when it came to the US, he couldn't afford to get it. Couldn't afford to pay the custom taxes and all that. He probably didn't know he got to pay again. Got to pay some more money. Government got to get their money. And so it got auctioned off. These truckloads of stuff got auctioned off. That's why so much of it out there in the internet and not in stores. And so you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Oh, you gotta love it. So somebody asked him in his live yesterday. We eventually play it for y'all. Asked him in his live yesterday, why your stuff all over the internet? What's happening? And he said, I don't know. I don't own it because I use a company and I don't have the rights to it. They could do what they want. They could kind of take my stuff and sell it and do what they want or make more of it. That don't even make sense. That's your trademark. That old cartoon clip art TV logo you created on Photoshop. That's your trademark. They can't just take that if you're running. I thought you was doing master classes. I thought you was brilliant. How you got some company, supposedly, because we know it's a lie, how you got some company just taking your stuff and then they're going to sell it on their own too? What? Anyway, somebody asked him a couple months ago, last year sometime, when he first started kind of hawking all this discount stuff and overcharging, they tweeted him and said, we got to move these comments. Hold on, get these comments off out of the way. Asked him, this is a D-Hag probably. So said, does anyone know who the manufacturer is? Now, this is when he was hawking the $10 skillets for $100. He then responds himself and says, Nicole Bradford, I am the manufacturer. If you the manufacturer, how your stuff all on in these discounts? What? This is the same skillet here. You see here, he charged 100. Well, they say 109 is the regular cost. I don't know if they got that from his website. And they say you pay $29. That's $29. These people giving him $100. I mean, they just fans. They just fans, y'all. And then they be talking about how high quality is. It a $10 skillet, y'all. It's a $10 skillet. We ain't gonna even get to the here go the pressure. No, there's a slow cooker says, or pressure cooker, I guess. Said it's regular price of $149. I think he charged a little more, but I don't know. And they charging, is that $20, $29? What is I can't. $49. $49 for that. Now these are in stores now. You see the old cheap clip art logo that he designed on Photoshop in the middle of the night with his taco meat, with his laptop sitting on his taco meat chest. So explain this, because it ain't making no sense. So that's one theory. One theory is that He couldn't pay the taxes. This stuff got auctioned, and some people have been reaching out because at first this stuff started hitting eBay first. That's what people first started noticing it, and now it's in these stores. And one of the stores, what they say, because they just got it in their About Us page on their website, says, basically, who are they? How they get this stuff? And they say, we offer our buyer purchase overstock, insurance salvage, customers returns, and out of season good, bankruptcies, and much more from major retailers and manufacturers. We carry apparel, footwear, houseware, furniture, health and beauty, food, linens, and many other categories. We receive new shipments often and take markdowns every week. This sounds like, again, they recovered this from an auction. Here's another one. This was when the stuff was on, this some other way. Oh, no, this eBay. This eBay, one of the sellers on eBay. So again, this ain't no one store. There ain't no one store, and it ain't no one seller. There is a ton of this ish out there. And people just getting their hands on just slap. So if you want the stuff, and y'all, those of y'all who getting these payment plans to buy this stuff on his overpriced website, go ahead and versus you having to pay $29 4 times, pay it one time and go to this store. But this one here, this seller says, where do I get this stuff? Because that's what it is, just stuff. It says a majority of the items are purchased at auctions or estate sales. We know that was an auction. Many of these are in large lots where I have no idea what I am buying. Like probably what this. He probably walked up the way. He probably bought one of these freight trucks right here. Probably one of these freight trucks. So where we at? Says I had no idea what he's buying or they buying. I am always surprised at what I find when I open the boxes. Oh, you can't make this up, y'all. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. They'll claim we over here making it up. Who the hell got that kind of time to create a whole narrative around a scam pile? Who cares? He's just scamming people and creating crimes and doxing and doing all kind of craziness to people. So he's being exposed. That's all. That's all. So you can't make this up, y'all. You can't make it up. And then you got let's see what else we got here. I just got screenshots up here. I don't do like Vell. You got everything organized, his notes all coordinated. I was like, oh, I like to put this in there. So this person, another flying monkey, D Hagger, says, listen, I'm supposed to be saving coins for this wedding. But do you see the price difference? How could I say no? So this was I think this might have been around the VellNito situation when he did the Queenish discount code. So the regular price on this stuff we just watched for $29 and $59, $49. This same stuff, this flying monkey clown said that when she had attempted, I guess, was gonna buy it at first before the discount, it was gonna be $635 for one, two, three, 4 items. But with the Queenish code, when he started the drama with VellNito, she ended up paying $272.50. Well, it looked like you could have paid $100 and still got all of it had you gone to eBay. Craziness. I mean, but again, maybe they just want to support. If you want to overpay, you got it like that, and you just want to support, that's fine. But you can ignore that you can find this stuff at all kind of discount stores and I mean, literally everything that's on his website. And now he's claiming he's pulling out new stuff. And I mean, I guess he's moved. Well, and like most of his grifts, all his grifts, when they fail, when they run its course, he just go ahead and move on to the next grift. He just walk away. So he probably walked away from them 5 trucks. They were like, you owe us, $60K or whatever. I mean, he a multi-millionaire and don't know how his products are out here wandering around this world with no home. They should be in that old warehouse over there in Atlanta where you claiming you shouldn't even have business there according to the state of Georgia. I don't know how that's working out. But anyway, it's be in that warehouse. Now, the other theory, so that was the first theory that he couldn't afford. That make more sense because you see the people who buying the stuff up who could afford it. The guy who created this stuff can't afford it, and these people buying it and selling it way cheaper. So obviously they making a good little decent profit too. But the other theory is, okay, so he couldn't afford it when it came in. Finally, made it over the seas. He couldn't afford it, so they end up confiscating it and auctioning it off. That makes sense because look how much of it out there. The other theory giving him a little bit of benefit of the doubt, just a little bit. He probably gonna take this around with it too, because he love a little twist on his story. Now, but remind you, he just said, and again, I got the clip, just didn't edit it down. He says he had no idea what's happening with this. So if he flipped the script, we already know he lied. Well, we know he lied anyway, but he'd be caught up because we got proof that he say he ain't know nothing about it, how this is happening. But the other theory is that his stuff ain't moving the way he's telling these people it's moving. We already know, looking at the analytics of the when he showed his screenshots, the fake Shopify screenshots, that you see no activity, but little bit of thin bars that's all flatline on his sales for weeks. And then all of a sudden he creates some drama, somebody's discount code, and then it shoots up because they love the drama. The flying monkeys love the discount codes. We're gonna have a discount code. They were doing that foolishness this morning. We're gonna have a discount code, or you need to create a t-shirt on that. Just the coat, just like the guy. They, instead of these flying monkeys starving themselves, because he got a different group, they don't starve themselves, they gluttonous. They, instead of him walking them into starving themselves, he gonna walk them to a dialysis clinic. He gonna have all of them on the dialysis. That's how he gonna take his people out. He gonna just put them on. He gonna convince them that they can keep eating and have bariatric bypass surgeries and all of that, and still eat like a teenager, like a 2-year-old, and that they gonna still be healthy and can jog for 45 minutes in these little stints of these little gimmicky things he does with the juicing, and now he running for 45 minutes and then he'd be off to some other gimmick and not doing nothing but snacking all day like a cow. But he gonna convince them that you can eat like that and you can live like that and they're gonna be okay. But all the while he just walking them into dialysis clinics and they're gonna all be lined up with IVs. That's his code. That's his code. With the that's the whole thing. It's craziness. What else we got on this one? Hold on. So then we got, again, we'll move on. So that, I think, did I finish my thought? I don't even know if I finished my thought. So the other thought is that possibly what he's done, because it's not moving, because these sales be flatline unless he create drama, then, he get a spike in sales, and then he claimed he made $700,000, yet your products then ran across the country, and they just spread around in all these discount stores and all on eBay, whatever. Maybe he himself is selling to other distributors because he's not able to move the product. So now he's trying to put it in these little discounts because he could never get a legitimate deal at a Target or something like what Tabitha doing. Oh Lord, do he want her life? Oh Lord, he'll never be able to get it because he's such a scammer, a horrible person. God ain't gonna bless that. The devil done blessed you about as far as you gonna get. God ain't finna touch you. And so he want that, and he can't get in legitimate department stores. So maybe he's selling and auctioning his stuff off, putting it in those kind of places, and that's how it's getting out there, because otherwise it ain't moving. Because you look at the warehouse, it's always full. So that's another theory, giving some level of benefit of the doubt, since he claimed he's such a multimillionaire, that it ain't that he didn't pay the customer. But that makes more sense though, because of the fact that if you know the storyline and the timeline of how long those people was waiting for that stuff, he didn't have it. He couldn't get his hands on it. He didn't have enough money for it. And it was just sitting there. and then it got auctioned off. But by that time, again, he's a grifter. He probably had made a windfall for some other drama. We need a timeline where we can just like a calendar and plot it all out. But probably had created some other scam and then got some influx of money, was able to reorder it, this time being prepared while the other stuff had been auctioned off. Probably something similar to that. But, you know, who knows? It'll probably come out in the, you know, when this is all said and done, when he's indicted or something. So anyway, so you have that, and then we'll get a little deeper into that at some point. But just wanted to put that out there because, you know, it's floating on the internet and people sending messages to Zelle and me. Did you know? Did you see? Yeah, we be seeing this stuff. We just don't always be talking about it. Let's see. I'll do a couple comments, then we move on to this last piece of this. Yeah, we're going into 2 hours. We ain't gonna go too much longer than that. Let's see. Do we have comments for that save? Yeah, he's shyster. Yes, Tasha K is hilarious. I feel like she is playing and laughing in that scammer's face and Scampire's face. Tasha K is a friend of no one. I think she has made that clear. She has actually said that on occasions too, to be true. Be honest. Did VellNito say she's a snake or a stank? He said a snake. Not into calling people stanks. He was grinning like he was being interviewed by Oprah. Right. Because he know that's the highest he gonna ever get is a Tasha K. Tasha is going to Tasha. I really feel like that. I would be surprised if she really goes with that narrative, because it is not good for her brand to go with that narrative. I think the majority of people know that he's a scammer, and the mass public perception is that he's a scammer, or they don't know nothing about him. Because I saw a lot of people in her comments like, who the hell is that? Because he thinks he's worldwide. He thinks he Candy Burris worldwide. Yeah, right. Tasha K is on her side. They on nobody's side but her side. And I truly believe, you know, she trying to do viral content. She know that he's a social media influencer. He has, you know, million followers across platforms and all of that. And when he does stuff, it will, in the social media streets, to get some buzz. And so potentially she might, you know, she knows she can ride that wave. So I think that's why she's reaching out to him, because she don't really do other YouTubers per se. If you can't eat, it's not a religion for me, right? Sorry. Exactly. All right. So this last piece that we have that Crooks talked about today, and you know, we got this recorded too, but we just gonna do a quick little overview, and then, you know, maybe I'll revisit it on Reality Chronicles myself. Well, I guess I will. We'll see. We'll see how this go. Anyway, so Darius Crooks goes live today. Scampa goes live today, and he publicly finally admitted that he is being sued by the kitchenista, aka Angela Davis. We've talked about her a few times on this channel, and she is suing him for defamation, a character, for all of the stuff he's done over the years, to doxing her, sharing, talking about he got her personal information, background check. He's talked about the stuff that was on the background check, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in the lawsuit, she has also named some other people. The other people she named were people who were part of exposing Darius Crooks, what was coined the coalition. And that was Danielle Hollins and her husband, and also Natalie Lawyer Chick, who is a YouTuber who has covered the story. Now, really, she just covered this. She wasn't involved, but she was covering the story to bring more light to the scammer. Well, there was stuff happening behind the scenes with the kitchenista, and we talked about Mel Ford before, and that stuff just got to brewing and a brewing and a brewing, and to me, got real high schoolish, and people wanted people to take sides. And VellNito, his collar got tugged, and he didn't respond in a way that people wanted him to respond because he's headstrong. He ain't to be controlled. And so he wasn't participating in that level of foolishness. And so, long story short, the Kitchenista is suing all of these people. We're gonna talk on Patreon, y'all. Y'all already know. But in short, Darius Crooks went live today talking about basically bringing it to light that he's officially admitting it. Now, the crazy part is this has been out there since I think March when it finally started brewing, and he's finally acknowledging it because he can't ignore it no more. Because people are like, what about the lawsuit? Because once Natalie lawyer chick answered for her part of it and her part was dismissed, she did a whole video on it. And in the video, she stated everything and shared some personal stuff that I got a problem with her sharing because she didn't give my permission to share that. I've been quiet about people doing things behind the scenes and then pulling me into unnecessary drama. I'm sorry, VellB, VellB into unnecessary drama. But just for those of you who are here today, know that message between VellB and Natalie lawyer chick was personal. It wasn't meant to be given to the court of law. Now, is he saying he regrets it? It wasn't true or any of that? Hell nah, it was true. And he stand on what he said, but it was a personal private message in which if you show the whole message, which he does have, of course, if you show the whole message, he expressed in the message that he preferred not to get involved in that stuff at that level because he felt like the lawsuit was frivolous and it would only create chaos. And basically, he said, however, if it goes beyond this to an actual lawsuit and you need somebody to testify, he did at that point, he would. So he was sharing with her the information that he shared, and I ain't getting into all that because I ain't finna just keep spreading shit. But he shared that information with Natalie lawyer chick, aka Natalie Burrell. He shared that with her as a comfort to say, hey, don't worry about the harassment you're getting. This is why you're getting it. It's from a certain person. It's not a bunch of people. It's not what you know. Don't worry about it. You good. She took that because she felt like it would help her case. And then although VellB declined to participate at that level, she screenshot that, put it in her court filings. He like, okay, fine. I get it. You did what you felt you needed to do. That's fine. But he explained to you why he didn't want to do it because he didn't want his just BS. Guess what happened? So not only did she do it, which was fine, go ahead. Because when he wrote it, he knows that. He's smart enough to know anything you put in writing can be, later shared and all that. You know how these social media people react. So he put that out there, and she did it in court, which is whatever. But then she did a video and then showed it. So to him, that was where she crossed the line because it was a personal, private message. She could have left that part out of the video. Put it out there on the video, and what did it create but this old internet ridiculous high school ass drama of Vell said this and da-da-da and this and that, and people want him to respond, and he like, I don't do high school shit. We're grown over here. We don't do that. We don't play on the internet like that. So the internet is a job. It's not for my life. It's not what we do to live. Anyway, so everyone is clear. VellB did not get involved in that and did not want to be involved in it. However, stated facts and will stand on those facts. So anyway, Darius Crooks then comes out and he gives his part. He reads through it, skips over some stuff, but he reads through it. And basically, the Kitchenista is saying that all the stuff that he's done to her and that she's missed out money, he used her name as a discount code, all the stuff he did do these things. He's denying it. He's saying he don't even know. He's like, when did I share her personal information? I didn't even know her personal information to share. It's like, yeah, not only did you share it, but it's in the article, the Shade Room video, when the Shade Room interviewed him, he literally admits to having it, and they play the clip of it and phone numbers. So this, again, when you watch a stunt queen, a scammer, and they talk so much that they they get caught up in the ish. And so, although he's claiming, and we'll do a smash up side by side of him denying this stuff and then show the proof, all that. We ain't have enough time to do that because this happened this afternoon that he went live with that. So anyway, now he's responding. He says it's in the hands of his attorney. So, we'll see what happens with that. Really didn't want to be bothered with this story because for VellB and myself, it's a total distraction from the true reason why VellB even got involved in this. And this is to expose a jackass, scammer, narcissistic, sociopath. That was the reason VellB got involved, and I therefore got involved in this. Don't care about the other stuff. Y'all not important enough to me for that. So, or us, not important enough to us for all of that. It's a distraction. So now this fool right here is getting away with more scamming because people have made it all about them. There were some very talented people, are some very talented people. Yeah, I see these numbers going up because people want the drama. But there's some more, there's some very important, some very intelligent people involved in this. Some people who, and I look at it like this. There are people who are, people have their own personal issues and stuff going on. And I get it. And sometimes people put that on to situations that it don't belong to. And people been harmed by people and all of that. And so they walk up with their walls up and they're easily offended and all of this other stuff. And so all of that has now culminated to the people who were banding together and successfully exposing the scammer and getting public attention with it and all of that. We went from that to the infighting that this scammer now gets to use to say, see, they was lying the whole time. They crazy. Look at them. They fighting each other because they crazy, because they just like drama. They only talking about me because they like drama. See what they doing over there? Here's the thing, though. Now I'm acting like I'm on Patreon because I'm getting a little too unfiltered. But the thing is, some people want this to happen. Why? Because the attention is no longer on them. And when the attention couldn't be on them, they were like, before I allow the attention not to be on me when it comes to exposing this scammer, that people don't say my name in the same sentence when they say exposing this person or that person has been outed, Scampa, Darius Crooks. They're like, I'd rather blow the whole goddamn thing up. And that's what they've been doing. Successfully. Congratulations. You accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. You have made it like a joke. Doesn't mean that the stunt queen is no longer a scammer or never was or things were lies. No, it just means that people brought their personal ish into a larger issue that had nothing to do with them. The truth is, if you look at any movement in history, there was infighting. There was infighting with the creation of the Constitution of the United States of America. Like, read your history books. There was conflict in the civil rights movement. There was infighting. Some people hated each other, but they still got the work done. So it ain't about getting along. It ain't about everybody got to be your best friend and all that good stuff. God knows I have made no besties out of the situation. I just recognize the ability of us all to work together for a common goal. And that's what I was sticking to. And when I saw the foolishness in the background brewing, because I'm adverse to drama, when I saw it brewing, well, I was telling VellB, y'all know. When I saw it brewing, I was like, okay, I know to put my distance from you. Okay, I know to put my distance from you. Okay, I'm going to just do this. Okay, I'm going to back off that. I'm going to back off that. And gotten further and further back till I was just almost just in my own lane, and that's where I've been. And that's where I'm going to continue to be, because the truth of the matter is, this ain't no lie. Ain't nobody lied about this. There might be some infighting. There might be some people with some issues on a lot of different levels that we can't even get into tonight. But this one is still a scammer. This one is still a predator. The stories that have come out, the receipts that are plentiful and continue, because we talked about tonight, we just talked about new stuff. That's all we talked about was new stuff. All of it is true. So yes, you will see and you will hear the lawsuit that's out there, people infighting and suing each other. I'm okay with the suing of Darius Crooks. That's what should have been done in the first place. Like, that's fine. And it's, to me, those are valid points. Now, there might be some loopholes here or there. It's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But for the most part, Darius Crooks should, in my opinion, should be the person who's in this lawsuit. The rest, do what you may. Like, I could care less. I'm just done. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. So that's where we are with that. We'll see. We'll see what comes of it. I will say that VellNito and I have been discussing we because people have been wanting us to take sides and air this person out and air that person out. And like VellNito, like, that's not what I'm here for. That ain't it. Is that Darius? No, it's not Darius. I don't care. I don't just air people out on this platform. That's not what I was created. It was created for. So talking about this drama here is not what I prefer to do. However, because VellNito's name has been drug into it unwillingly, just because he was trying to be helpful to a person, but you soon learn on the internet you can't trust nobody. Nobody. It now warrants some level of commentary. And so we'll see what that level of commentary looks like. However, VellNito, will say that he protects a lot of people. VellNito, because I know a lot, y'all. Y'all know I be knowing stuff I don't be telling y'all. I've been protecting a lot of people and a lot of stories and a lot of situations, and trust that as many receipts as VellNito got on Darius Crooks, he has on the other situations too. And he's trying his best not to go there. But if they keep testing him, he might have to let me loose. It's all we got to say. With receipts, line by line, situation by situation, text by text. So keep that shit on Twitter, because if it comes out in public, it's on. Okay, so the other piece of it is the flying monkeys have been, of course, just you know how they do, y'all. They just all into this, and they feel like no one, Darius Crooks has done nothing to no one. To me, the fact that they have this this memory that is selective, because all of a sudden you got them in the comments talking about some, you ain't never shared nobody information. You ain't did this or that. Well, even as of today, and I'm realizing, hold on, y'all. Let me pull it in. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Gonna pull these two in. Then we're gonna read some comments, and then we're gonna get on out of here. Okay, let's see. We can pull these in real quick. Wrong one. Talk amongst yourselves. probably gonna be out of order too, but here we go. Okay, so the other piece of it was, you see, I showed you this document here. So Darius Crooks had actually posted all of the, I think it was all of them, all of the documents from the complaint, the lawsuit complaint. Well, as you see here, VellNito redacted in those white bars was people's addresses, including Crooks. He said in his current, actually, I have to look again and see what the address was. He said it wasn't his address, I guess not his current address no more or something. I think that's his attorney's address, but I don't know. Anyway, what Crooks did was actually left all of the addresses showing, and because that's how he operates, stunt queen. That's what he does, messing. So there were people commenting about it under his post, and one of the hags said, "Your address is on that. You may want to delete it. People are crazy." Crooks responds and says, "That's not my address." And then let me see. I think somebody then says, "Netflix should approach you with all the drama people are bringing to your doorstep." People bringing it. He creating it. People responding to the drama he creates. What are you talking about, you flying monkey? Says, "Baby, you didn't have to put the word not so big. I'm not a troll. Just thought I was being helpful." So that was the person he was responding to, saying that is not my address, and yelling at the person. And then another, because they like to fight amongst themselves. They like to make fun of other people who can't get along, but they be fighting amongst themselves too. Says, think about who you, another person says to that original post, says, think about who you were trying to help. Honestly, do you think he needed it or that he would post his address? LOL, shaking my head. Now, why you gotta attack the person who's saying, trying to help him because they're thinking it might be an oversight? Why is that so harmful? But again, he's a cult leader, so they like, he all knowing. He don't make no mistakes. Although we got plenty to show, like his products all over the eBay and these discount warehouses all over America. Then another person attacking, saying, just nosy, want to be a know-it-all. Just read and scroll. Nobody asked for opinions or help. He ain't no dummy. I'm sure he looked at all that before posting. Mind your business. He putting his business out there. What are you talking about? Mind your business. She minding what he posted for her consumption and engagement. Another person, a different person now attacking, saying, I'm sure she just thought it was an oversight and she was trying to help. Y'all be coming for folks for no reason. LOL. Now, see, she got to put the LOL behind it, because if she don't, she afraid she might get blocked. Because you gotta, when they actually have an opinion, they gotta also say, hey, but I mean no harm. I'm not a troll. I'm a real follower. I'm a D-haver. Don't clap back at me too hard. So anyway, then this one person says, Greg, now this is a deplorable, this is a male D-hagger, says, what about deleting the addresses of the others though? And then Crooks, Scampot responds, lawsuits are public info. She knew that when she filed. That's the risk she takes. At this point, after all the drama they've caused, I don't care. They've caused? They've caused? And then the thing is, the addresses that he showed was not the Kitchenista. That was the Hollins and the Hollins and Natalie's address. Natalie didn't file nothing against him. The Hollins didn't file nothing against him. So you're just evil. And so then here come a D-hag, because they got to defend every movement he makes. Now it's now public record since the suit has been filed. Does that mean you posted on social media for your supposedly 1 million followers on Facebook? No, that is still the difference. Says another person coming after the guy who said something. Public record. We could all go look it up anyway. Again, you would have to look it up. You would have to put effort into it. It wouldn't just be in your face. Another person. It's public record. And then another person attacking again this guy. Anytime somebody with sense talking to them, they hop on them. You see why they so quiet about anything with common sense. Another person asking him why he need to remove it. And then this person, Jennifer Ortez, says, Greg Allen, delete the addresses of the people trying to ruin him? That makes sense. People trying to ruin him or expose him for all the ish he does to them, has done to them and others. Greg Allen, delete the addresses for what? I thought addresses were public record and public info. You want yours posted over there on his Facebook page? And then another person. It's public record. So no. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. But they be sitting there crying if he posted their stuff, which he eventually will when they piss him off. So at the moment they have a thought outside of his and stop being a flying monkey, he'll be doxing them too. So anyway, he doxed. So in the complaint he's reading, Crooks, when he went live, he's reading about people accusing him of doxing people. He's claiming he has never done it, never posted anybody's personal information, and literally had posted the information right before he went live to start reading because he had posted the document. It's kind of like he expects people not to use their brains. Well, they don't. They do not over there. Yeah, it's crazy, y'all. Okay, we're gonna read some comments. Then we're gonna get on out of here. Yeah, we're gonna get on out of here. We 2:30 for sure. 2 hours and 30 minutes. We got like 14 minutes. Read a few comments. I don't even know where to go. Oh, let me see. We got any start. Let's see. Okay, I want to jump to recent, so let me jump over here. Yes, they are sickening. I don't know why she is afraid of being doxxed, but she still follows him on his page. Like, he does wrong. Not sure who we talking about. Isn't this Facebook post something he could be taken to court for? If so, please go to Judge Mathis, please. Oh, this is way up beyond a Judge Mathis situation. It's almost like there's always chaos that follows him. He creates it, though. That's the thing. People want to keep saying it follows him or people bring it to him. He creates it behind the scenes, and then it eventually implodes as this situation is. Everything you're looking at, all of this stuff that came out that eventually, hit on the Black Enterprise article, which was kind of the thing that made it go mainstream. All of those things were going on for years. It just that he was creating all of this, the Fresco scam and the Cupcake Gallery investor scam and I'm drawing a blank because there's so many of them, but you can go on and on. The D-Half cruise scam and the dining with Darius Crooks scam, dining with Darius Crooks scam, and all of those things. Like, this is stuff he's been doing, and then the ish hits the fan. Public record doesn't mean it isn't personal. Yeah, exactly. Flying monkeys just flying. Exactly. Nobody wants their personal information out there on Front Street. Exactly. But those flying monkeys he got over there, they have the same mentality as him. They're just as petty as him. And the truth is, as much as people knew his personal information, especially even when he was living in people know where his warehouse at and where his house that he sold. People knew the address and all of that stuff. And people weren't putting that out there publicly. But he, even when he was doing it to other people, there was still a level of, people respecting boundaries to some degree with him because they knew the danger of that. He doesn't care. Says Not the Kitchen needs to suing him. All she's gonna get is some TJ Maxx pants, $47 and a bottle of Night Train. Right. Okay, well, it looks like, I mean, there's a lot of communication between y'all, but I don't see, make sure I didn't miss any starred comments. Yeah. They petty until it's them getting dragged to docks. Exactly. And then they're running saying, oh my God, he scammed me, or oh, he did this to me. You know, then they want comfort. It's crazy. But again, we just, you know, we talked about a segment or so ago where we were well, I'm sorry. I forgot I got this on. VellNito was talking about, you know, the cult leader in Kenya. So it's a different grift, it's a different vibe to it, but it's the foundation of how you do it is all the same. So yeah. I see another comment. Then we're gonna go ahead and head on out. The kitchen needs to sue the lawyer lady too. Oh Lord. Yeah, so maybe we'll break that down in a separate video, because I can go through the lawsuit, and then I can kind of break down some of the happenings that led up to some of that. Again, trying to keep the focus on the scammer who's brought many of us together. It was all about this, not all the other stuff. So Scammers Crooks has been doing the same exact thing for years. Yeah, absolutely. Almost since his inception. Again, the first scam I learned about was after he escaped from Chicago, after he scammed us, and then we started learning about the Fresco scam and all of that. And that stuff he had done back in 2000. Well, the Cupcake Gallery was the first one that he did back in 2009 or something. So so yeah, that's been that. But with that, I thank all of you for joining me, VellNito, and I got out of character a few times, but but thank you for joining, and we will catch you guys on the other sides of this. And with that, until next time, take care and be blessed. We'll see if this will play. Maybe not. We'll see.